Hey crafty babes, welcome to Retro Hip Studio. Hey crafty babes, let's take a walk through my new studio setup. If you followed my stories last weekend, or if you go back to my story highlights, you will see kind of the transformation of some reorganizing in this space. And here I am to share with you some of the details. So we are going to start in this little corner over here. This is my favorite corner of the whole place because it's just filled with vintage goodness. This wood veneer retro hip co sign was hand created by myself and Color Cast Designs. It's my logo on a piece of wood, all carved, and it looks amazing. And I was so excited to finally get it in this space. I'm not going to go through the details of everything that is here, but as you can see, I have a love for the vintage. Okay, so here is my typewriter setup. This is Blanche. I have her up on a little basket here just because it's a little easier than bending down to type. And my sewing machine is at the ready, always ready for me to stitch on some paper. I've been loving doing that these days. And then I have a few things under here, so just some little knickknacks over here in this corner. I have my paints and then some planners and extra notebooks and things like that, and then all of my printer papers. So those are cardstocks and regular paper and photo paper, and I think I have some temporary tattoo paper in there as well. And then I have a stack of books over on the left there, and then my sewing machine pedal so that I can just sew because I don't have a separate desk for it, so I just use put the pedal behind and have it come in through the back. Some extra paints, old magazine, or past, not old, past magazine issues. And then in this little caddy inside there, that's a Hobby Lobby little like traveling organizer. It's just some stamps that it's like my secondary stash of stamps. That was really hard to say. I use that to switch out my stamps for the seasons because I only keep a certain amount on my desk. And then here in this cubby are filled up personal 6x8 albums. So those are ones I have completed. As we move along, this is now where I'm keeping all of my basically supplies. So this is not tools. These are more paper, stickers, letters, stuff like that. I have decided to keep all of my paper in this tiered wooden organizer. So this is from the Recollections brand. I believe they just call it a tiered wooden box. And it has, I've showed it many times, but it has these removable sections. And so I can just rearrange them as I need to, but I'm keeping smaller things up front and it just gets bigger and bigger as you go toward the back. I'm doing a couple of extra little organizing projects here so I have some extra desk space. So sometimes I keep these here, sometimes I keep them on the other side of my desk. In this little organizer here, this is just a clear refrigerator bin. I have all of my things ready for anything junk journal related. So this is going to be like vintage flashcards and book papers and tissue paper. Just different vintage kind of pieces that I've bought and collected over the years. This organizer here, this is a tiered organizer from Target. So I just found this in the office supply bin or office supply section, and it has 3 tiers as well. So you can see back there, and then you can see if you get back there just a little bit more, there's a 3rd section. And so this is all alphas. So taller alphas in the back, and then I've got smaller alphas and then even smaller ones. So every time I need alphas, I'm just gonna grab from here. And then this is gonna be stickers. So I've got longer, like more puffy stickers and enamel kind of things, and I lay them on their sides so that they don't flop down because I don't keep them in the original packaging anymore. Smaller little things over here, smaller stickers, different kinds of things that don't really have things that are like them. Here I keep all of my TRG stickers. here I'm keeping all of the word strip stickers. So anything that has words or phrases is going to go on this side. And then anything that is more of a shape, a label kind of thing, just taller shapes and stuff like that will go over here. And then my TRG larger sticker sets back there. In here I am keeping my weekly photos. So I have a, see if I can do this one-handed because it's got like a magnetic thing and it was hard for me to open earlier. Okay, there we go. I keep them in plastic baggies by week. So if you need to see that process, I have a video on my FAVES page on my website, and also I just did a podcast episode. I believe that is episode number 7 of Ask Andrea. I also have this cute little vintage scale replica. It is not a scale for real, but I keep smaller ephemera and embellishments in here, like tickets and tags and cards, vintage little things and circles and squares, things that like don't belong in a specific color. That's just kind of how I'm keeping new things right now. And sometimes I will keep this on my desk, which you'll see in a second, or I will bring that over to my desk just so that I have kind of easy access and I don't have to be turning around every 5 seconds to grab something. Here is what the main reason for the change was. Here is my computer. This is the main reason why I switched around things down here. I used to keep this computer upstairs. We have a built-in desk like in the loft area, and I just decided that I liked it down here when I brought it down to work temporarily, but I couldn't keep it on my desk facing out, so I decided to do a little rearranging. And basically what I did, let me actually move this, is this Calyx cube used to sit next to the other Calyx cube, so it was 2 8 Calyx cubes in a row. This desk was over here, and it was hiding, this drawer was hiding behind the other side of my desk. So I gained a drawer, which is great. So now I have my iMac down here, and I just have some basic office-y things like stuff to pay bills, and I keep all of my mainly used planners and notebooks and work notebooks here so that they're just easy to get to and easy to put away when it's time to not be working on company stuff or work stuff. I have to get another knob, and I might get the same one or I might get a different one to kind of add some interest, but here is this drawer. So it's basically punches and glue. I have 2 different kinds of glue, but I really just mainly use the Scotch. I only bought this in a pinch because they didn't have this at Sam's when I went to go grab it. I keep my punches in this little bin, also from Target, I'm pretty sure. So just punches and extra things. This is my favorite drawer in the whole wide world. This is where I keep all of my color ephemera embellishments, and then I have some in categories like florals. This is actually kind of a new bin, so this isn't just florals, it's just that I just recently grabbed some brand new things like some Felicity Jane stars and this ephemera pack, this die cut pack from Simple Stories, I think. Anyway, this is going to be like flags and tabs and tags, and then longer and larger embellishments. And like here's some stuff from the Reset Girl. There's also a lot of stuff in here from AC Digital's, like from some of their older kits that I printed out. And then circles and some word strips and florals. So here I can just grab anything I want. I can just like flip around, grab something based on color, and there I have it. So as we flip around this way, I have, let's actually start with the Cubbies because there's only really 4 to talk about. So these 2 right here are my current projects. So the things I have going on right now from we'll go from right to left. So that's my 12 or 9 by 12 family album. And then I have the yellow and white stripe is my current personal 6 by 8. The blue Simple Stories one is crafty junk journal. So I kind of decided to turn it into how I document my crafting and my studio and just anything kind of crafting related that doesn't belong in the family album and it doesn't really have like a selfie or a story to go with it, then I'm putting it in there. I actually have this bag and some photos and different kinds of cards in there for a specific project about this stationery store in LA that Susanna took me to called Shorthand. And so I'm going to make that into a small notebook that's just about that one trip to that one store because I took several photos and just want to do something really small. This traveler's notebook cover with the crosses on it is all of my faith journal and faith journaling supplies. Not that I don't keep faith journaling or Bible journaling stuff elsewhere. It's just that those have like the recent Illustrated Faith devotionals and ephemera digital printables that you can buy. I just keep them all in there so that when I'm ready to work on something or do some scripture writing, everything's just in there. This notebook here is my trip with Susanna and Kelly to Joshua Tree last May. And then in the next cube is my mini 3.5 by 5 field notebook. And then next to that is it was April's Lister's Got a List from the Reset Girl, but I decided to, because it was all like work history related and like stuff about your jobs, I decided to just turn it into like a working girl kind of little mini notebook that'll just continue on as I take pictures throughout like what it's like to work from home and stuff like that. So I'm just going to kind of evolve it into that. This next little notebook right there is going to be a new project that I am starting, which is a music and song notebook. So it's going to be, there's certain categories of songs that I have, like I have prompts basically, and I just need to go through and make the list of the songs within that prompt and like either go to the internet or Spotify or something and just download the album art. So we'll see how that project goes. Next to that is my sticker book. I have this little persnickety prints notebook that I'm just using older Illustrated Faith and digital ephemera that I've printed, digital elements that I printed over the years that kind of just got shoved in a drawer at one point. And so I separated them all by color and I'm just making color notebooks. You can find some pages that I've done. Just search for the hashtag on Instagram, retrohip sticker book. So that's a super fun project. The one next to that is going to be my healthy habits journal. The one next to that is the cruise that we went on with the Reset Girl. And that is the notebook and the red folder. So the red folder or the red accordion organizer has a bunch of just by day, it's got our photos and the pieces of like ephemera miscellaneous stuff that I want to put in there. Next to that is our home album. So that's going to be pictures of when we first moved in this house. And then the blue album, those are both Life Crafted albums from Citrus Twist Kids. That is going to be for our homeschool journey. The only things really going on down here in this left one is that I'm keeping both of my, those are empty pocket pages. So I have the pink one is basically all 2-hole, and then the black one are the 6-hole. So that way I didn't have to punch them if I didn't need to. I will just, whichever kind of album that I'm working in, I'll just grab whichever kind of page protector hole configuration I need. The first aid kit, oh my gosh, what am I keeping in here? I totally forgot. This is what happens when I put things in closed bins. Oh yeah, pens. I don't really use colored pens a whole lot, so I decided that I could just put them away. In here I have Illustrated Faith and Bella Boulevard goodies, and then some completed traveler's notebooks back there. Also another overflow of stamps. The other things tucked back in there are basically just kind of stuff on the other side, other crafting projects and stuff like that. Nothing super special, but I just didn't have another place for them, and I have the space back there. Okay, so some notes about what is on top of these two little desk risers. In here, I have basically Allie's art starts. So Allie Scraps makes these art starts, and they are like big clusters of different, color combinations that you can use like as backgrounds, and I print them on clear sticker paper. Anything like that I keep in here as like a starting point. This is the One Another's like daily card set project that I'm working on. This tray is basically anything that needs to be cut up. So this is all printables that need to be cut. Like I just printed all of August's photos. I just printed the new Feature Craft digital kit from Geraldine, and then like anything that just hasn't been fussy cut or cut out yet. So as you can see, there's some goodies in here, but I like being able to just keep them so that I know that I haven't cut them up. I just know where I can go get them. Some of these drawers do need to be relabeled, like this one does not have pens in it anymore. It has an overflow of washi, and it has my numbers and alphas. These are like randos. These don't really have a home. They were loose. They don't belong on a sticker sheet or anything. So I keep them in there. And then in here, I'm keeping tags and some enamel dots and my doilies. On top are my washies, all of my favorite washies. And these are the same brand from Target of the tiered organizers that are on my windowsill. I'm sure that you've seen this before, but I use this mail sorter as my stamp organizer, and it's actually on its back. So normally it would sit upright and you would, put things in it, but I laid it down like this so it can act like little shelves, and I've loved it. I will never have my roller stamps any other way going forward. I just decided to put these in a little cup back here so that they're easy to grab, and this roller stamp also just kind of sits nicely here, and because the bottom is rubber, it doesn't slide. More stamp talk is I've had this organizer for a really long time, but it's got some different sections. So I keep my smaller stamps on this side, and then I keep my 3x4 stamps, my 4x6 stamps, and then the larger 6x8 stamps back here, along with a cleaner. Here is like probably my favorite part of moving this these risers over here to the right, is that I love to be able to keep my paper trimmers easy to get to, because I need to sometimes just trim a photo real quick, or because it won't fit in a pocket, or I just need to resize some paper. Having them, I use them so often. It's so nice to be able to have them close by. And then right there on top are my distress oxides. There's still several that I need to put color labels on the front of, but basically, if you watched my stories last weekend, I only have room for 4 more, so I really can only buy 4 more distress oxides, so I have to be very careful about what colors I'm picking going forward. In this drawer here is textures, so it's going to be ribbons and crepe paper, bows, anything fabric or texture-y I'm putting in here. Oh, also in my Hey Crafty Babe mug, I'm keeping larger clips and like binder clips also. And so then also a couple of Felicity Jane little tin. No, these are not tins. These are, I have no idea. There is a word and it's escaping me. Anyway, jars. The twisty lid jars have some of the embellishments in there. Down here, easy to get to, are all of my most used stamps. I do keep them out, and then when they get too dusty or they get a little dirty, I just rinse them in some soapy water, and it cleans them right up. I have these 2 welly tins. One of them holds smaller ephemera, so like buttons and little tiny, acrylic pieces. And then, of course, I keep more of the mini wides in here. And a whole one dedicated strictly to labels, of course. Oh, in here, in this is older and not as frequently used stamp pads. So I kind of felt like it would be okay if I covered up or put these things in front of that drawer because I'm just not getting to them as much. And also what's super handy about having this area right here is that I can keep my wipes in here and pull them out easy. Keep this open. I don't have any wipes in here right now because I just used the last ones, but I can keep it open and then I can stamp off, or I can stamp off on my stamp off sheet. So I tape a piece of white cardstock to my desk so that I can just stamp off, and then when it gets too gross, I'll just flip it over and re-tape it down. These are my most used tools. So I have obviously pens and pencils that I use the most, all my adhesive and foam tape, punches and scissors all go in here. And then I have this little welly tin, and it's got all of my smaller paper clips. And then moving along the desk, I am about ready to work on another project. And then I have something new, which is this Lazy Susan. I was using it like on my kitchen table, but decided that it would be better served here so that I can kind of save up some room and keep a lot of the things that I'm using regularly, again, at my fingertips, which I need. I need things to be close at hand. And then scrolling this way, we're actually not scrolling, but we're panning, I guess. We're moving. This desk has an extension little area, so it's really nice to be able to have extra space, extra desk space. And then what I forgot to show you was that my printer is down here, and also underneath I moved all of my office supply stuff into this drawer. So it's actually a drawer that comes in an IKEA like standing metal drawer thing. Well, I just took the drawer out and it fit perfectly underneath my printer, so I can just roll it in and out, and it's kind of out of the way, but does its purpose. So that is how everything came together in my new little space. I hope you guys enjoyed this little look. Hi. At my space. Let me know if you have questions. I tried to talk about all the different things, but hopefully you enjoyed it, taking a look. Talk to you guys soon.